day, everyone. I'm here in front of you to discuss um, how a computer works. So, computers are part of our daily lives. So, we use them for studying, working, gaming, watching videos, and communicating with other people. But have you ever wondered how computer actually works? So now we'll tackle about how a computer actually works. So even though computers may look complicated, they simply follow instructions and process information very quickly. So in this discussion, I will explain the basic parts of a computer. So how they work together and how computer helps us in our everyday lives. So um, first, what is a computer? So, let me explain something. So, a computer is an electronic device that accepts input, processes data, stores informations, and also produces output. So, to make it easier to understand, think of a computer like a very smart assistant. So, you give it instruction and it follows them step by step. So, there are four basic functions of a computer. So input, processing, storage, output, and those are the four basic functions of a computer. So remember those: input, output, processing, and storage. So let us all tackle about each one of them. So first we will tackle about input. So an input is basically the data or instructions that we give to the computer. So input device allows us to interact with the computer. So wait a minute, I will show you a computer. No, so I'll be right back. Now I have a computer. No, so as you can see, this is a computer. No, so input is the, as what I've said earlier, input is the data or instructions that we give to the computer. So if I input a command prompt in here, so the computer basically allows us to input data or information in the computer. So basically it is a input device that allows us to interact with the computer. So examples of the input devices are these. So as you can see here, keyboards and also mouse pads or mouse, microphone. So I don't have a microphone, and also webcam. So ano na ninyo makita here, and also the touch screens. Then for example, when you type your name in a computer or in a keyboard, you're giving input to the computer. So another example is when you click a mouse to open an application. So the computer receives these information and prepare it to process. Then two, processing. So we talked about process. So now let us all tackle about what is processing. So a processing is the thinking part of a computer. So as when you input those informations, the computer itself process those inputted commands which you encode to the computer. Then the main part responsible for the processing code is the CPU. So the CPU stands for the Central Processing Unit, or it helps the computer process these informations that you encoded or input. So basically, it is a brain of the computer. So it is often called the brain of the computer now. So the CPU reads instructions and performs calculation and tell other parts of the computer what to do. So for example, when you open a game or a search something online, so the CPU processes your request in just seconds. But let me explain something. Without CPU, if there is only a CPU but without a driver, so it cannot process properly, no, because the CPU only processes what the information given but cannot interact without those drivers. So so much for that. let us focus on CPU. So a computer can process millions or even billions instructions every second. So this is why computers are so fast. So with the help of the CPU, or the central processing unit, or what they call the brain of the computer. So the third part is the storage. So when you encode those informations uh, that you input earlier, and the storage is where the computer saves data and files. So there are two common types of storage. There are RAM, or random access memories, or the hard drive, or SSD. Hard drive or the SSD. So two. No. Then RAM is temporary memory, so it stores informations while the computer is running. So RAM is basically uh, yes, it is a can informations. It is a temporary memory. So, for example, when you open several apps at the same time, RAM helps the computer remember what is currently active. So, on the other hand, the hard drive or SSD stores files permanently, such as pictures, videos, documents, applications. Even when the computer is turned off, files will be saved with the help of the SSD and the hard drive. Then lastly, the fourth one is the output. So basically the output is the final stage of your inputted informations, or what we can see. So for example, I will open a PowerPoint here. So I will open a PowerPoint presentations. Then as what I've encoded, that is the input when I encode or informations. And when the encoded informations is will pop up, so basically that is the output of your given informations, or the inputted informations. No, so output is the result, or basically we can say output is the result, or produced by the computer after processing data. So it cannot be interchanged. No, so input, process, storage, and lastly output. So output devices can be includes monitor, speakers, printer, and projector. Then, for example, after typing and saving the documents, the word appear on the monitor, that is output. So, as what I've said earlier, and when you play music and hear sound from speaker, that is also an output. So, those are the four parts, or important parts of a computer. So, always remember, guys, those are the important function or basic functions of a computer. So first, input, second is processing, third one is storage, and lastly output. So hopefully you have understand a informations of what we discussed today. So that will be all, and bye bye.